Good evening and welcome to CV Media News for Wednesday, April 30th, 2025. I'm Jessica Reynolds. Tonight's top stories. The United States and Ukraine finalize a $100 billion reconstruction fund. President Trump threatens a tariff wall on pharmaceutical imports. Pakistan warns of a potential Indian strike over Kashmir. The Eurozone posts surprisingly strong growth in the first quarter. Oil markets record their steepest monthly drop since 2021. And in our extended social media buzz, a scandal involving Kayla Malik, Evan Johnson, and James Charles is dominating online conversations. Turning now to international aid, this morning, U.S. and Ukrainian officials signed a landmark agreement establishing a $100 billion reconstruction fund. The initiative will channel U.S. loans and grants into rebuilding critical infrastructure, power grids, hospitals, and transport links damaged by the ongoing conflict. Joint oversight committees in Washington and Kyiv will ensure transparency and accountability as dollars flow into reconstruction projects. Shifting to European finance, Spain's Banco Santander reported Euro 6.9 billion in net income for the first quarter, a 31% year-over-year jump, driven by robust retail lending in Latin America and strong performance in the UK. CEO Hector Grisi acknowledged market volatility from trade tensions and currency swings, but said the bank's diversified footprint would help sustain profitability through the rest of the year. Moving on to U.S. trade policy, in Washington, President Trump announced plans for a tariff wall on pharmaceutical imports, warning that U.S. drug makers will face punitive duties unless they shift production back to American soil. Industry leaders promptly warned that higher import costs could translate to steeper prices for consumers and booked intentions for legal challenges under WTO rules, setting the stage for a heated policy battle in Congress. In Islamabad, the head of Pakistan-administered Kashmir appealed to the United Nations today to broker peace talks with India. He cited an urgent need to de-escalate after recent cross-border skirmishes. New Delhi dismissed the appeal as premature, but both militaries have quietly agreed to resume communications through established hotlines in hopes of preventing an accidental escalation along the line of control. Turning back to the Eurozone, economic data out of Brussels showed the Eurozone expanded by 0.6% in the first quarter, surpassing forecasts, even as core inflation eased to 2.3% year over year. Economists say resilience in consumer spending and a rebound in industrial output offset concerns over U.S. tariffs and a strong euro, although some warn that headwinds could intensify in the back half of the year. And now, commodities. In New York trading today, Brent crude closed at $63.50 per barrel, marking a 12% drop in April, the steepest monthly decline in nearly 4 years. Traders cited worries over slowing demand growth in China and renewed trade tensions. Despite Saudi Arabia's pledge to maintain production cuts, skepticism remains high that supply alone can stabilize prices in the near term. Now, let's turn to social media, where a major influencer scandal has everyone talking. Neka, over to you.
Thanks, Jessica. Tonight, we're unpacking the drama that's ignited TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. The saga of Kayla Malik, Evan Johnson, and James Charles. Here's what you need to know. First, Kayla Malik's abuse allegations. On April 24, TikTok star Kayla Malik, who has 14 million followers, posted a series of raw, tearful videos accusing ex-boyfriend Evan Johnson of 9 months of extremely abusive behavior. She described multiple incidents of physical violence and emotional manipulation, recounting moments where she feared for her life. Evan Johnson's arrest and bail. Following Kayla's revelations, 20-year-old Evan Johnson was arrested April 26 in Sumner County, Tennessee, on domestic assault and probation violation charges. He posted bail the same day and was released, but the case remains active as Kayla continues to cooperate with authorities. James Charles' controversial involvement. The plot thickened today when videos surfaced alleging that beauty influencer James Charles, longtime friend and mentor to Kayla, flew Johnson out of Tennessee post-bail. Clips show Charles arranging Johnson's private flight, covering lodging costs and even spending time with him at a Los Angeles hotel suite, all while publicly supporting Kayla's advocacy. Public backlash. Fans and fellow creators erupted under the hashtag #CancelJamesCharles, accusing him of enabling an alleged abuser and betraying Kayla's trust. One viral TikTok by @TSpillGirl with over 2 million views overlays screenshots of Charles's DMs where he calls Johnson my bro against clips of Kayla's emotional pleas for help. On one side, critics demand Charles issue a public apology and donate to domestic violence charities. On the other, a smaller group argues Charles' intention was to support Kayla legally, helping gather evidence and navigate the justice system. Some insiders suggest Kayla's legal team requested Charles' assistance to ensure her safety and document Johnson's movements. Broader ethical conversation. This freeway fallout has reignited debates over influencer responsibility. Should online personalities use their platforms to protect survivors at all costs, even if it risks their own image? Or must they maintain strict boundaries, avoiding any semblance of enabling wrongdoing? What's next? Kayla is set to testify in court on May 7th. Observers are watching whether James Charles will break his silence and how this scandal will reshape conversations about power, trust, and accountability in the influencer world. That's your deep dive from College Vibes. Back to you, Jessica.
Thank you, Mika. And finally, looking to the stars, NASA announced today that its Artemis 2 crew capsule completed its final tests at the Kennedy Space Center, paving the way for a crewed lunar flyby mission scheduled for early next year, marking the first human spaceflight beyond Earth orbit in over half a century. That concludes tonight's broadcast. From global policy moves to social media scandals and a giant leap for space exploration. We'll be back tomorrow with the stories that shape our world. I'm Jessica Reynolds. Good night.